Today I'm at Arsaga's here in Fayetteville, Arkansas, otherwise known as the Depot. I am wicked hungry. I've been writing all morning, been editing all morning, I've been outlining all morning, and all I want are some sweet, sweet crepes. I'm also meeting a friend here. His name is Chris Marlow. Let's see if we can get him to answer a few questions.
What's going on?
Hello, brother. Okay, this is what lawyers say. State your name for the record.
You know you're an author man, not a lawyer, right? My name is Chris Marlow.
That's right. Try not to clap your hands, it makes everything move. Hey, Chris, tell everybody what you do.
Yes, I'm the CEO and founder of Help One Now. Basically, we empower leaders to care for kids who are vulnerable in order to see their communities transform through development work.
That was like an elevator pitch.
That's what I do!
In your personal life, what kind of projects do you work on?
Yeah, so I'm an author of a book called Doing Good is Simple. Practical ways how everyday normal people can make a difference in the world. I love that. Also spend a lot of time hanging out in downtown Raleigh, having a lot of fun, drinking good $5 cups of coffee. And I'm trying to figure out why I keep drinking $5 cups of coffee.
It's good stuff, right?
I know, but my budget's like it's not good for
So
the
I've heard they have like a really good third wave coffee scene there. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah, it's great. Awesome.
What's the name of that joint that you took me to? They had the one-in-one. They did the tea afterwards.
Yeah, that's Jubala. Really good. Yummy.
It's one of my
Beautiful.
favorite places.
Yep. Gotta come hang out. If you're in Raleigh, go to Jubala.
Can we talk about writing?
Yeah. Love to talk about writing.
Okay, writing is my favorite thing. It's what I do.
Yes. All the books that are stacked up right now?
Yes, right now, in fact, underneath this camera is a stack of books.
A stack of books.
They look phenomenal.
Not my book, though. But they're amazing books.
And you know I have your book.
I mean, well, of course.
And I've read your book.
I know.
And it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Tell me what your book is about.
Yeah, Doing Good is Simple is the book basically about the story of Help One Now. We started the org in 2009. If you remember, those terrible times, the economy was falling apart, and we had a problem to solve. How can everyday normal people make a difference in the world? But one of the things we've realized is folks don't usually have a strategy for doing good. We have a strategy for relationships, we have a strategy for our jobs, we have a strategy for our finance, but actually one of the most significant legacy things that we can leave behind is how we make a difference in the world. But we really believe doing good requires a lifestyle philosophy, and we need to build it into our day-to-day living. And that's what the book breaks down, filled with a lot of stories about how everyday normal people can make a difference.
Would you agree that your book is fascinating?
The book, it is fascinating, and here's why. Turn on the news, right? You're like, there's just no way my life can make a difference, especially when I gotta work 10 hours, I gotta commute, I gotta take little Johnny to volleyball practice, or, like it's just overwhelming, right? But there's a thing that I love, and I think it's true, we all have the ability through our passions, our talents, which are things we earn and learn, our gifts, these are built into our DNA as humans, and basically the resources, time, cash, networks, all of these things matter, and when you bring it all together, no matter who you are or where you're at, you can make a significant difference right in your community and all around the world.
One of the things that I like to talk to writers about is how they carved out the time to write their books, because this is like a significant investment of time, right?
Yes, yeah.
Books don't write themselves. That's what I've been told.
Yes.
Is that true?
First chapter's easy, then you're like, I gotta do this again? Seriously?
12 times?
Yeah, unbelievable. Here's when you know you write a book. You literally can't go to sleep until you write it. It drives you, it keeps you awake. There's a paranoia. Like, this book needs to get out into the world, and it doesn't matter what it does when it's out. That's kind of up to the world on many levels, but the book needs to get out. I recognize the book needed to get out. People needed to hear the story. They needed to understand how their lives can make a difference. And so for about 5 months, I got up every morning from 6 a.m. to about 9:30. I went down to a local coffee shop in Raleigh, and I wrote. And what's funny now is the book's out, and it's done pretty well. People tell me all the time, like, I just remember you setting up this same table every single day, writing this book in the winter of 2015. And like, people see it, right? Hard work pays off. There's probably nothing more discouraging than to talk to someone who wants to write a book that won't have the discipline to sit down and actually write the book. But it takes discipline and hard work.
There's one piece of art right now that has really captured your attention. It can be poetry, music, film, painting, whatever it is. If there's one piece of art that's captured your attention right now, what is it?
Two things. One, Brene Brown's new book, brilliant. But that leads me to something more unique, and that's a chef's table. Netflix.
Tell me about a chef's table.
It's amazing. Netflix documentary. I think the 3 seasons. Most of these chefs are from developing countries so far. Not all of them, but the ones I've watched. And you begin to realize there's a storyline that they're all following. So these are the elite chefs in the world now. And they all have a storyline. They grew up in poverty. They have a dream to be a chef. They can't pursue that dream locally because there's not the market. So they go globally and get trained by a master chef in another country, mostly France. Then they come back home and they start cooking French food in their local environment. And they're not happy. When they find their true selves is when they start cooking the local food. And they start innovating it and creating a whole new palette for their community to enjoy what's always been there. And they find their true self through this process, and it often takes 15, 20 years. So now they're successful and well-known and well-off financially, but they really weren't happy until they started cooking their local food in the local community, and they were seeing their local community enjoying this new opportunity. So Brené's book, Brave in the Wilderness, it talks about you'll never truly be happy until you are okay with your true self. Like the most true self that you can imagine you are. And we all put masks on, we all try to play this game, if you will, and we don't quite know where we'll fit in. The connection there is Brené's talking about. It's like if you really want to make an impact and find it, you got to be okay with who you truly are, and your friends have to be okay. And then you have to learn how to get along with the other who may not agree with you or be like you, but part of humanity and spirituality is getting along with the other. And so these chefs literally had to find their true selves by leaving their countries, learning from a master chef, but they had an emptiness inside. And that's what's fascinating. They all talk about this emptiness of like, I'm cooking great food, my restaurant's full, I'm well off, my family's fine, but there's something missing. They need to take that next level to find their true selves, which is really kind of what they dreamed about in childhood. Bringing their food to their country in ways that folks can enjoy it. So now when they're successful cooking local food, they get to enjoy it at a different depth than just being a successful chef in a community cooking outsiders' food.
And that reminds me of what we were just talking about, like finding the true paragraph, the true sentence, the true words for your own work, and how when you put those things on the page, your work really sings, but when you try to be someone else, it just doesn't quite match up.
You see this all the time in authors, right? They write a book, and you're like, I think they try to copy someone else's stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's not them. This is not, the depth of it's not there. They could be basic principles. It can still be an okay book, but they didn't quite land the plane. And usually they're afraid of their true self to be known. Because when you express who you truly are, you're vulnerable, and then people have to love you for who you are. But you know a certain people group will also reject you for who you are. So back to these chefs, they were rejected a lot by their local community. You can't cook that food that way. They're like, why not? Sure I can. And so they had to like risk innovating and reputation, and now they're beloved. But part of writing and creating is letting your true self come out, but also being willing to take the risk of what that means, because it's not always pretty.
So on a chef's table, it sounds to me like they're pulling together a lot of things you love. They're pulling together the idea of the authentic self, the true self, and food, which you like.
Yeah, I love food. Food is good. We just had a beautiful crepe here in downtown Fayetteville.
Yeah, downtown Fayetteville, here at Arsaga.
Wow, yeah, Arsaga.
I wish I would have taken some film of the crepe, because they truly are beautiful.
We crushed it.
We crushed it. We did. So tell the people on this video how they can find your work.
Doing Good is simple. Of course, you can find it on Amazon, social media, Instagram, Facebook, Chris Marlow, no E, Marlow. And then Help One Now. Just go to helponenow.org, spelled out. And you'll see all the work we're doing. 13 communities in 7 countries. We're invisible in our community, so we're literally partnering with amazing local leaders. They do brilliant work. And what those local leaders need to know is there's a tribe of people like us who will stand with them in the shadows and support the work that they're doing to make an impact in their communities. Whoa!
So this is my buddy Chris, and I love Chris. He's awesome. So I hope that you will buy his book.
Thank you.
Support his organization, our organization, the organization.
Yes.
When I say our, I mean the global we.
Yeah, and Seth's on the board too. So.
Oh, yeah,
You forgot
to
about
mention
that.
Yeah, it's kind
He's
of
not the best board member, but he's okay.
probably the worst.
When board members start up their own businesses, it gets awkward.
It's awkward. Awkward.
Just kidding.
This is my friend Chris.
Awesome.
Go get his stuff.
Love you guys. Thanks.